Hey there, sleepyheads. It's time to get cozy. Are you ready for a magical bedtime story?
Oh, I love bedtime stories. Let's snuggle up in our blankets and get comfy.
Tonight we're going on a special adventure with two very special twins.
Ooh, twins. Do they look exactly alike?
They sure do.
Yep.
They're named Isaac and Jacob, and they live in a place called Blackheath.
Blackheath. That sounds kind of mysterious.
It does, doesn't it? But trust me, things are about to get a whole lot more mysterious.
I can't wait. Tell me more.
Well, it all started on a bright and sunny Saturday morning. Isaac and Jacob woke up with their tummies rumbling.
I bet they were hungry for breakfast.
They were starving. Their parents were still asleep, so the twins decided to be brave and make breakfast all by themselves.
Wow, that's so grown up of them. I could never make breakfast all by myself.
Me neither. But Isaac and Jacob were super brave. They tiptoed down to the kitchen.
Tiptoe, tiptoe, little mouse feet. Can you hear them sneaking down the stairs?
Shh. We don't want to wake up their parents. They found bread and jammed juicy fruits and a carton of milk. All the ingredients for a regular breakfast.
Sounds yummy, but I have a feeling this isn't going to be any ordinary breakfast.
You're right. It's about to get magical. As Isaac reached for the bread, he noticed something strange. It was sparkling.
Sparkling bread. Now that's something you don't see every day.
I know, right? It was like tiny little stars were trapped inside.
Maybe it was enchanted bread. What do you think?
They thought so too. So they popped the bread into the toaster and waited. Can you hear the toaster go ding?
Ding! The toast is ready.
The toast popped up all golden brown, and guess what? It was still sparkling.
Wow. I bet it smelled delicious.
I bet it did. Isaac couldn't resist. He took a bite, and suddenly, he started floating in the air.
Wow! Floating toast. That's amazing.
He was incredible. He was so surprised that he grabbed onto the kitchen counter so he wouldn't bump his head on the ceiling.
Good thinking, Isaac. We don't want any bumps on the head.
Jacob couldn't believe his eyes. He wanted to try it too.
Of course he did. Who wouldn't want to try floating toast?
Exactly. So he toasted another slice of bread, took a big bite, and whoosh, he was floating too.
Now both twins were floating around the kitchen. They must have felt like astronauts.
They did. They were giggling and drifting around like two little balloons. They dodged the light fixtures and bumped into cupboards.
Oh no, I hope they didn't break anything.
Don't worry, they were very careful. It was the most fun breakfast ever.
I can imagine. It sounds like so much fun.
They started to wonder if there was more magic hiding in their breakfast. So they spied a bowl of colorful fruit and decided to try a shiny red apple.
I wonder what the apple will do.
You're about to find out. As they munched on the apples, they felt a warm, buzzing energy spreading through their arms and legs. Suddenly, they were super strong.
Super strong apples. That's even better than floating toast.
I know, right? Jacob had a brilliant idea. He pointed to the kitchen table, the one that was always too heavy for them to move.
Ooh, I bet they're gonna try and lift it.
You bet they are. With their newfound adult power, they lifted the table right over their heads.
Wow, they must have been so strong. It's like they had superpowers.
They were like tiny superheroes, fueled by their amazing breakfast.
This is the best breakfast ever.
It really is. Excited by their new abilities, they decided to try everything on the table.
Oh no, what if something goes wrong?
Don't worry. They were very careful. A sip of milk made them invisible for a few seconds. They played a giggling, invisible game of tag around the kitchen.
Wow, invisible milk? That's so cool.
It was. Then a spoonful of jam gave them super speed. They zoomed around the kitchen like tiny lightning bolts.
Super speed jam. That's incredible.
I know. This breakfast is full of surprises. But here's the thing. With every magical food they tried, the shimmering glow began to fade.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means the magic was running out. Jacob started to worry.
I bet he did. What if all the magic disappeared?
Isaac knew they had to use the remaining magic wisely. Just then, they heard a soft knock at the kitchen window.
A knock at the window. Who could it be?
They looked up and saw a tiny squirrel on the windowsill. He looked very worried and was chattering away super fast.
A talking squirrel. Now that's something you don't see every day.
I know. It was amazing. They couldn't understand what he was saying, but they knew he needed their help.
I wonder what's wrong. Maybe we'll find out after a quick break.
Actually, no break needed for this deep dive. Let's keep going. Jacob grabbed a slice of orange, hoping it would give him a new power.
An orange. What kind of power could an orange give you?
You're about to find out. He popped it in his mouth and suddenly, he could understand the squirrel.
Wow, that's amazing. What did the squirrel say?
The squirrel explained that a tiny kitten was stuck high up in a tree. She was too scared to climb down.
Oh no, it's terrible. I have to help her.
Isaac and Jacob knew they had to be brave and use their magic to help. They packed some enchanted toast, some fruit, and a bit of jam just in case, and followed the squirrel to the park.
They're like little superheroes going on a rescue mission.
When they reached the park, they saw the poor little kitten way up high in a tall tree.
I bet she was scared.
She was mewing softly and looked very frightened.
Oh no, we have to save her.
Don't worry, Isaac and Jacob were on the case. Without a moment's hesitation, Isaac took a bite of the enchanted toast and started to float up towards the kitten.
He's like a floating superhero.
Jacob, knowing that the magic might run out any minute, ate an apple to boost his strength, just in case he needed to catch the kitten if she jumped.
They're such a great team.
They are. Isaac floated higher and higher, reaching out to the scared kitten. But just as he was about to reach her, the floating magic started to fade, and he began to sink back down.
Oh no, it's gonna happen.
Don't worry, he shouted down to Jacob, "Quick, I need a boost!"
What did Jacob do?
Jacob, without a second thought, tossed another piece of toast up to Isaac. Isaac caught it in his mouth, took a bite, and whoosh, he started floating again.
Phew, that was close.
I know. Just in time, he gently scooped up the kitten and brought her safely back down to the ground.
Hooray, they saved the kitten.
The little kitten was so relieved, she purred gratefully as Isaac handed her to Jacob.
And the squirrel, I bet he was happy too.
He was overjoyed. He cheered and clapped his little paws together, calling Isaac and Jacob heroes of the park.
They really are heroes.
Isaac and Jacob felt a warm glow inside, even though the last of their magic was fading. The toast no longer made them float, and the apples didn't give them super strength.
But they still had an amazing adventure.
They did. As they walked back home, they knew they would never forget this magical morning.
And they learned that true magic comes from kindness and helping others.
That's right. It doesn't always have to be about floating toast or super strength. It's about using whatever you have, even if it's just your own two hands and a kind heart, to make a difference in the world.
And that's a kind of magic that never fades away.
So next time you see someone who needs help, remember Isaac and Jacob and their enchanted breakfast. Remember that you too can be a hero just by being kind and using your imagination.
Now snuggle up tight and let this story fill your dreams with magic. Sweet dreams, little listeners.
We'll be back soon with more adventures.
Jacob grabbed a slice of orange, hoping it would give him a new power.
An orange. What kind of power could an orange give you?
Well, it gave him the power to understand the squirrel.
You're right. It did. The squirrel explained that a tiny kitten was stuck high up in a tree, and she was too scared to climb down.
Oh, poor kitten. She must have been so scared all alone up there.
Isaac and Jacob knew they had to help. So they packed some enchanted toast, some fruit, and a little bit of jam just in case, and they followed the squirrel to the park.
They're like a rescue team now with their magical breakfast powers.
When they reached the park, they saw the poor little kitten way up high in a tall tree. She was mewing softly and looked very frightened.
Oh, that's a long way up. I bet she was really scared.
Isaac knew he had to act fast. So without a moment's hesitation, he took a bite of that enchanted toast and started floating up towards the kitten.
Wow, he's like a superhero flying up to save the day.
Jacob knew that the magic might run out any minute, so he ate an apple to boost his strength just in case he needed to catch the kitten if she jumped.
They're such a good team thinking ahead like that.
I know, right? Isaac floated higher and higher, reaching out to the scared kitten. But just as he was about to reach her, the floating magic started to fade, and he began to sink back down.
Oh no, the magic's wearing off. What's he gonna do?
He shouted down to Jacob, "Quick, I need a boost."
A boost. I wonder what Jacob's gonna do.
Jacob didn't even hesitate. He tossed another piece of toast up to Isaac.
Wow, what a great idea.
Isaac caught it in his mouth, took a bite, and whoosh, he started floating again just in time to gently scoop up the kitten and bring her safely back down to the ground.
Hooray! They saved her.
The little kitten was so relieved, she purred gratefully as Isaac handed her to Jacob.
I bet that squirrel was happy too.
He was overjoyed. He cheered and clapped his little paws together, calling Isaac and Jacob heroes of the park.
Ah, that's so sweet.
Isaac and Jacob felt a warm glow inside. Even though the last of their magic was fading, they had done something really good.
And they learned a very important lesson.
What's that?
That true magic comes from kindness and helping others. It doesn't always have to be about floating toast or super strength or anything like that.
That's right. It's about using whatever you have, even if it's just your own two hands and a kind heart, to make a difference in the world.
And you know what else?
What?
That's a kind of magic that never fades away.
It's so true. And that warm glow they felt, that's like a magic all its own.
Exactly. It's the magic of knowing you've done something good for someone else.
It's a feeling that everyone can experience, even without any magical food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you think our listeners can do to feel that magic?
Well, there are so many ways to be kind and helpful, just like Isaac and Jacob.
Like what?
Well, you could help a friend with their homework,
Ooh, good one.
or maybe share your toys with someone.
Yeah, or even just give someone a big hug when they're feeling down.
Those are all great ideas.
Yeah,
And I bet it would make you feel good too.
it definitely would. Because spreading kindness is like a
A
superpower.
superpower that everyone has.
So next time you want to feel like a superhero, remember Isaac and Jacob and their magical breakfast.
And remember that you don't need enchanted food to make a difference.
You just need a kind heart and a willingness to help.
And with those two things, you can make the world a more magical place.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
But the magic doesn't have to end here.
Keep using your imaginations, keep being kind, and keep spreading that special magic wherever you go.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure, Sleepyheads.
Sweet.